Today we are talking about quilting. Do you have quilts that need to get quilted? Well, a long arm quilting system is amazing, and I have Angelina here, who is a quilting expert, and she is going to show us all the reasons that make a long arm quilting system the best tool for getting your quilts done. So Angelina, which machine are we standing in front of here?
Today we're going to show the Handi Quilter Moxie. The Handi Quilter Moxie is a 15-inch throat space long arm quilting machine on an 8-foot frame, and she is a great quilting machine for the home sewist or anyone who wants to make quilted projects, finish those quilt tops, and expand their creativity.
So it looks like you have a quilt top on here, right? Mm-hmm. So this was pieced on a normal sewing machine.
Yeah.
And so normally if you don't have a long arm quilting system, how do you get that quilt made?
So if you don't have a long arm quilting system, you're rolling this up like a burrito and flinging it over your shoulder and trying to feed it through the machine, and you're stressing out because you're worried about puckers that you can't see on the back, or what if something happens on the front, or you hit a seam, or what if your stitch length isn't right, and then you're tired of doing straight lines.
Right. Or have you ever rolled over your quilt?
Yes.
Well, it's over your shoulder and you're trying to get in there?
Or sewn the back to it because the underside gets flipped underneath and you don't know until you've done 3 more rows.
Yeah, and when you're doing that, you're actually moving the fabric like this.
Yeah.
And that's not super intuitive.
No, and it can be really hard on the body also.
Yeah. So with a long arm system, I love how it's just like you're drawing. Can you show us how you would just super easily start quilting?
Absolutely, yeah. I just hit play.
Wow, look at that. Free motion quilting, just like it's a pencil.
And anything that you can draw, the machine can stitch out. And you don't have to be good at drawing to do this, you guys. I am a stick figure drawer, and I think that's why I'm good at long arming. So anything that you can think of, you can just stitch out, right?
Just stitch it out. And the other cool thing about these long arms is this one has a stitch regulator in it, right?
Yes, so I never have to stress about my stitch lengths being even, ever. It just works.
Yeah, so that means with the stitch regulator that no matter how fast or slow Angelina drives the machine, that stitch length will remain the same, so you get perfect results.
Yeah, it's really nice.
So tell us a little bit more about what makes Handi Quilter amazing, because it's one of our best-selling long-arm quilting systems.
Yeah.
And they've been around for a long time.
So Handi Quilter is great because they are a brand that was founded by quilters for quilters. And because the people who design these machines know what it's like to use them, they made sure that they included features that quilters really want on them. 1 being stitch regulation.
Yes.
2 being lots of options for feet. So you can do a lot more with these machines than just quilt quilts. You can make quilted fabric, right?
Oh,
and then
yes.
Once
we have some here.
Yeah. Once you quilt fabric, you can turn it into all kinds of stuff like jackets. We put a couple yards on the machine, we stitched it up, and then we were able to cut out our quilt coat.
And make this adorable jacket.
And if you were I don't do apparel, I don't do quilts, I like doing bag making, I like doing home dec, great. You can quilt pillow tops on here. You can quilt soft and stable, all you bag makers that want to have really beautiful Bag Annie bags. Look at this. I quilted all this soft and stable on the long arm and then cut my pattern pieces out of it.
Yeah, that is awesome.
It gives really professional looking results.
Yeah, such great texture. And that was all done on the long arm.
This was all done on the long arm.
So
all the fabric was made. Yep.
Fast, easy. So when you're loading something like that, I can see that this frame is 8 feet. So you could put a pretty good sized quilt on here.
Yes.
Or you can put something smaller.
Yep.
Like we have here. And we have our top and our batting in the back.
Yep.
All right here and ready, which is awesome. And then I love all this space here.
And you know what else that means? Since we loaded it on the machine, I didn't have to get on my floor with spray-based or free fuse or pins. There is no blood on this quilt, right?
I love that, yeah. So
We've
much
all
easier.
been there, getting up and off the ground. Nope.
Yeah, and you probably don't have to worry about your quilt puckering or getting some spot where it shifted while you're sitting there quilting it, and now you have this wrinkle that you have to figure out how to get out because it's holding it all flat and perfect for you.
Yeah, so this frame has a 4-bar system. So you put your quilt top, your quilt backing on there, and the batting just kind of floats in the middle so that you can adjust it as you go. It has what we call an idler bar on the back, which keeps everything smooth and level. And the quilt rolls up on this take-up bar, so it is out of the way. So that's equivalent to having it all flung over your shoulder, right? Or pushed out the back, dragging on the ground. No, don't have to worry about that anymore.
And it's doing all the work for you.
It's doing all the work.
Now all you have to do is just drive it and make the pattern.
And have fun.
And have fun, which is great. But the next part is, I think, my favorite part, because even though I could do it as free motion, this machine actually has a computer on it, right?
Yes.
So it has Pro-Stitcher Lite, and so it can actually just do the pattern for you. Can you show us how easy that is to set up?
Oh yeah. We are going to tell it how big our quilt space is.
And so that's just showing it where we're going to want to quilt, right?
Mm-hmm. That's saying as big as it can quilt. Now I'm going to tell it where I want it to quilt. Okay, and perfect. Say I just want to do something in one of these blocks, right? This system is great for edge-to-edge quilting, but it also does some custom quilting. So if you want to your possibilities are endless.
Right, so edge-to-edge quilting, we could set it up and it could do something all the way from here, all the way over here, and it could do in that whatever the space is that we have here, because we have so much space here on the back of this machine, right?
Yep, and then we'll just advance our quilt. It'll do the next piece as we go, and we're just sitting here, relaxing, working on our sewing machine, doing whatever we want, watching more tutorials on other things we can do, pinning things on our boards, right?
All the good stuff.
All the fun stuff.
Great, and so you can also just do the block space though,
absolutely,
right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell it that I want to do something in just this block. Now I'm going to select a design.
Oh, and there's tons of designs built in here.
Yeah, there's over 200 designs built in automatically.
Wow.
So
that's amazing.
Yeah. And I always like to pick something that I could never do by hand myself.
Right. I know,
I
me
would
too.
Never get those circles accurate.
No, I wouldn't either. Nope.
None of it.
Yeah.
So now we're going to put it in our square and we're going to stitch it out.
And look at that. The machine just is going. Pulling up the tail, right?
It's knotting its stitches.
It's knotting its stitches.
That's what it seems like, kind of slow at first. Like, did I do it? No, it's knotting the stitches. And then we're off to the races.
Look at that. That is awesome. And I love how, like, our hands aren't doing anything. The machine is just doing all of the work for us. And it is so easy and it's perfect.
Yep.
And so a long arm system is really the way to get those professional results.
It really is. And having a long arm system is super fun. It will make you the best gift giver. Like someone says, oh, there's a baby shower next weekend. Psh, I could have a whole cloth quilt done in like an hour and a half, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would just...
You want them to do makeup bags, you want to do tote bags, you want to do a jacket. You can have stuff ready on the fly by just pre-quilting your fabric. You can also make small projects. I mean, there's even fun techniques where you can do like a stitch and flip on here, where you can actually piece right on the machine, and then when it's done, it's pieced and quilted all at the same time.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, the possibilities are really endless with a long arm quilting system. At Quality Sewing, we carry all of the different long arm systems. This is the Handi Quilter Moxie, and it is one of our favorites because it's also an excellent value.
It is. It's such a great system.
Yeah, and then it has the Pro-Stitcher Lite on it here, and you can get different sizes of frames with this machine. So you could get an 8-foot frame like you see here. You could get a smaller frame that's only 5 feet. You could also get something that's 10 feet. So depending on your space, you can really fit a long arm quilting system into any space. And we have these on sale, and they are an excellent deal. And if you have lots of quilt tops to get done, this is such a fast and professional way to get all of them done so fast.
And fun.
And fun.
It's the satisfaction of seeing the pattern all the way to putting that last stitch in it can be all yours once you have a long arm.
That's right.
Yeah.
So hop over to qualitysewing.com, check it out. If you have questions for us, post here and we will respond. Good luck and happy quilting.